Vision is, what do I want? That is should drive all financial decisions. What is my base
Mhm.
rate life? What do I need just to live the life of Ryan? What are the discretionary spice of life that I want to add on top of that, and in what order? And what are the aspirational things that I can do? We got to start there. And then we go to that's pillar one. What do I want? My vision. Number two is it feasible? We got to organize our financial resources and do a feasibility test. Think of flying. Is this route feasible? Do I have enough fuel in the engine and the right equipment to actually get to the destination I say I want to get to? Once we do that, and planning is typically really good at that. Where we start to get a little lower resolution in individuals when they're doing it on their own is it resilient? Right? If we'll stick with the aviation analogy, which I'll probably screw up, is if I go on this course and I get knocked off and I got to go around a storm, do I still have enough fuel? Do I still have the right equipment, et cetera? Because storms happen. So is it resilient financially? Once you get those pillars in place, then you go to optimization, which is the fourth pillar. Now, this is the bedazzler. This is how do I be smart about all of this? Can I put a Roth conversion strategy on top of this? Or do I do charitable distributions do I do a charitable distribution, do a DFA and a Roth conversion? This is when we start to bedazzle it, but we can't bedazzle it until we know where we want to go, that it's feasible, and then that it's resilient. And so that person that comes, my job, I can't answer the question. I got to go back through the process.
That's awesome. Because I basically roostered you, right? Because we call the gentleman who comes in, the engineer with a spreadsheet, we call them the rooster. And what they're looking for typically is me to pat them on the back and say, you're doing a great job financially, right? And it's awesome because you went right back to the process and say, where are you? What are you doing? Who are you with? Right? And how do we fund the vision? Is it feasible to make that happen? And then how do we optimize it? I love that so much. That's awesome stuff. Now, there's also, that's the life side, right? But there's also the financial side as well.
That is the financial side.
That's the financial side.
Yeah. And then there's four pillars for the non-financial side.
The non-financial side.
Yeah. Which is you got to have the energy to show up for your life. So, that's going to be eating, sleeping, moving, etc. You have to have a proper mindset because as you get older, what we've observed is your world can generally get smaller. We can get less curious. We can get more scarcity. When you lose, like your dad, when he loses that superpower of his income, that's scary. Usually income is one of the first areas that we have agency in our life when we're growing up. Remember when you got your first job? I earned this money and mom can't tell me what to spend it on. I can blow it all on bubble gum. And so when we lose our income, that really puts us on our heels. So we got to make sure we don't dive into a scarcity mindset. And then third, and you hit it as well, is we have to have passions. Work used to be hobbies. We have to have things that we are pursuing. That could be woodworking, that could be, airline pilot, that could be community service. It doesn't matter what it is. Happy people have projects. And then lastly is relationships, because we have to renew our relationships, right? We have to keep them vibrant because we're losing a bunch of relationships when we retire that are built in. And as we get older, people are going to die. They're going to move away. So we have to keep refreshing their relationship. All those four, all the science shows that those things help people thrive.
That's awesome. It really is awesome because I had a Christine Benz on, same conversation that we had was majority about.
She'll be here this weekend. She's awesome.
Yeah. She's amazing, by the way. Amazing guest. She's coming to your event this weekend.
Yep.
That's awesome. The conversation, we even had people, who watched our podcast email me or call me and say, I thought you guys would talk about dollars and cents a lot more than you did. And we just didn't. I mean, that's the reality of it. Subscribe to Redefine Retirement on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.